Jones. This is the neighborhood that Laquan McDonald grew up in, whose image is in this stained glass window. And so the legacy of Sonya Massey now is front and center, and justice for his family. So we welcome this wonderful family, Reverend Al Sharpton as well, and then the one and only attorney, Ben Crump, who's going to lead us from this point on.
Justice for Sonya Massey. Justice for Sonya Massey. Justice for Sonya Massey. I'm Attorney Ben Crump, along with Attorney Paul Brinke and Attorney Natalie Jackson and Attorney Jennifer Hightower. We have the honor of representing the family of Sonya Massey. Present here with us is her mother, Miss Donna Massey, who is still in disbelief that the police officer killed her daughter in her own home. Also present with us is her 17-year-old son, Malachi Massey, who was the first person notified by the hospital that his mother had been shot in the face. And they never told him or anybody else in their family who shot their mother in her face. Also present with us is his 15-year-old daughter, Summer Massey. Also present is her father, Jimmy, Uncle Raymond, Sonya's uncle, and a whole host of aunts and cousins and sisters who are present with us to get justice for Sonya Massey. Now, we also have the family of Jacob Blake Sr. and Amir Locke, who we thank very much for coming to stand with Sonya Massey. And we have a special guest, my mentor, Al Sharpton, who didn't think it robbery to come from being with President Biden to get here to Chicago to be with the family of Sonya Massey, just like he was with so many other families, whether that's Trayvon Martin or Michael Brown in Ferguson. Roland Martin is coming up on 10 years since Michael Brown was killed in Ferguson. Hands up, don't shoot. And Ahmaud Arbery, Breonna Taylor, George Floyd, Tyree Nichols, and so many others. And that is none other than the National Action Network CEO and founder, Reverend Al Sharpton. And before Reverend Al speaks to you, I want to acknowledge the reason we called this press conference, Reverend Al, was because we got so many inquiries, Attorney Jackson and I, after the police union filed a grievance on behalf of Deputy Sean Grayson, who killed Sonya Massey, saying that he was terminated without cause and that he should be reinstated, given back pay, and have those charges dropped because he acted in self-defense. And I said, my Lord, Reverend Al, did they see the same video we saw? And so we came standing with the family against the police union to respond to them. Her father, James Wilburn, is en route. We came to stand with them in unity to say exactly what Sonya Massey's last words were. County, until we get full justice on behalf of Sonya Massey, we rebuke you in the name of Jesus. We stand in the state of Illinois. Until we get full justice for Sonya Massey, we rebuke you in the name of Jesus. We stand in the United States of America. Until we get justice for Sonya Massey, we rebuke you in the name of Jesus. And when we stand together in unity for justice, we will prevail. Because we were just told, Reverend Al, about an hour before this press conference, Teresa Haley, that the police union withdrew their grievance to reinstate Deputy Grayson. That's what happens when we stand together. Justice for Sonya Massey. Now, without further ado, a man who continues to use his platform to give us hope and give us courage and give us wisdom to fight on the front line in all of these causes. Reverend Al Sharpton.
Let me first say that when I heard and saw the video, I was as outraged as I was when I first saw the video on George Floyd. As outraged as I was when I saw the video with her. And I was on the forefront of both of them. I did both of their funerals. And I wanted to reach out after talking to Ben Crump, who I call the Attorney General of Black America, and he has been that and has operated in an unselfish way. I've known him since Mommy Anderson, some 20 years ago, a case he had, and he's always been there. And I talked to the father and reached out to the mother to say that we would back whatever we had. One thing I want to make clear is that it is the negligence of this government's response to all of these killings that created the crime that led to Sonya. After George Floyd, we drafted the George Floyd Justice and Policing Act. Among the authors was Kamala Harris and Cory Booker. In the act, it dealt with a law enforcement officer being able to go from district to district getting new job assignments. This officer worked in 6 different jurisdictions inside of 4 years. 6, which would have been illegal under the George Floyd Justice and Policing Act. DUIs, he had 2 before he became law enforcement. And whatever the altercations that led to his having to leave them, all of that would have had to be open during an open process for review if the George Floyd bill had been passed. So understand that Donald Trump is coming to Chicago tomorrow. Ask him why he opposed the George Floyd Justice and Policing Act.
Exactly.
Whether or not he will appeal for justice for this mother and this young man and this young woman who grows up as the victims of an officer that should have never been on that post.
Yeah.
Yes, we want to see the officer prosecuted, but we also want to see the laws changed. And I'm glad the governor of Illinois met with the family, but we need an Illinois law made out in her name. We need to name it after her. If you cannot be switching precincts, if you banned in one precinct, why would we think all of a sudden you had some kind of Damascus Road, knock off the horse, change your heart in another district? A bad cop is a bad cop.
Yeah.
When they arrest people in our community, what is the first thing they do? Check our record.
Yeah.
but we should have the right to check the record of officers. Secondly, the fact that these people can try in any way think about putting a grievance to keep him working shows you the epitome of an insult and the lack of value on human life.
That's right.
And that is what we are not going to tolerate. And that's why all of us are rallying around this family tonight. Thirdly, I have said to the mother that we are going to look out for these two children. If this young lady and this young man will have to grow up long after these cameras are gone, long after people are gone, who's going to look out for them? They can't go to their mom. And we're going to tonight, I've talked to the uncle, we're going to start a fund that Raymond's going to control. They ain't going to do none of our organizations, none of our churches, straight to Raymond, for her and for him, because we don't want it takes a village to raise a child with a slogan. We're going to, as a village, raise some money for them. And I want to thank Hatch for opening up this church as he has so many times. And of course, Brother Reverend Al Sharpton and Brother David Sherry, and all of them, their affiliates in National Action Network, our National Field Director, the best tool now, Northeast Regional Director, Reverend Stephanie Barney. We here for the long run. We are still supporting families that I fought for in March 30 years ago. So this is not about getting some press. I got my own show. I don't need somewhere for press. But this could be my daughter. This could be my son. This could be my mother. And unless we all take that to heart, it will keep happening till it gets to you all. This must be on the agenda of Democratic convention. They must bring up Massey's name at the convention, and it ought to be in the platform of the convention to deal with these changing of jurisdictions, the George Floyd Justice and Policing Act. And Kamala Harris and Donald Trump need to deal with this if there is a debate. I can't wait for the debate. I used to go to boxing matches and hang out with Roland and get me a ticket. I would build this debate, Roland, the prosecutor versus the felon. Can you imagine if anybody on the west side of Chicago had 34 felonies and be running for president? I mean, this is so weird. But we intend to raise this issue of Ms. Massey all over this country. I was yesterday with the president down that we dealt with the Civil Rights Act of '64, and I mentioned it to him. He came in the conference room on Air Force One, and I said to him, I'm going to Chicago tomorrow. Because this is what I do. I wasn't born on Air Force One. Fighting got to be where they invite me places. I don't get amnesia while I'm there. That's why I'm here. I'm telling you what happened to her. And I'm telling everybody running for office, I want to know what you're going to do about the shooting of people like Massey. You ain't got to go back now to George Floyd. What about this? Woman in a home, and they said, well, she had some mental issues. Well, she did what he told her. With the high court. She called on God, said, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. So, if she had issues, then what was his issue? She didn't ruin nobody. She didn't kill nobody. What was his issue? And why was he on the force when 5 other forces he had to do? What is wrong with the system? They always want to ask about what was wrong with the victim. They never ask what's wrong with the system that empowers and arms people that don't have to. seen a woman in her house. She called. She called. Talking about she thought an intruder was there. How did he end up over some hot water? And he began making up his alibi while the tape was still running. Thank God that we got the cameras up. But while y'all concerned right now, they've already charged them and busted them. They did the same with Quan McDonald. Y'all got funny way of getting justice in another one. So we thought we'd come and help y'all understand that people that are killed need to be treated the same and equally. If that was the other way around, where a civilian had done that to a policeman, they would face justice. This policeman needs to face justice, and we need to have new laws in this country to prohibit cops like this. All right, let's open up. We'll take a couple of questions. Let me hear. Let's hear from the family before we could get
We'll have Jimmy Crawford, about the truth. And remember this, y'all. The reason Reverend Al and the National Action Network and all the other civil rights groups have to come and fight for justice is because of what happened at the beginning. When Jimmy and Shadea got there that morning after she was killed and all the blood was still on the floor, and they're asking what happened, who did this, they did not get a straight answer. They thought it was some prowler or somebody who shot Sonya Massey. They, just like Breonna Taylor, Reverend Al, when her mama showed up at the apartment, they never told her that it was the cop who shot her. And so Jimmy's going to tell you about what happened when he arrived. Well, Shadea, where you at, Shadea? Come on up. They were the first two on the scene with the family.
Say your name and spell it as well. My name is Sonya. It's S-H-A-D-I-A. Massey, M-A-S-S-E-Y. She's my cousin.
And I'm Jimmy Crawford, J-I-M-M-I-E, C-R-A-W, that's O-R-D. And Summer's my daughter. That's my child's mother. Now it's a shame. This is a crying shame. It don't make no sense. It's hard for two parents to raise a child. Now it's only one parent. No, it just, I'm lost for words. I should have got the scene first. Her mom called me. Now, I don't know how I drove there, but I drove there and made it there. And there's too much of a cover-up. From one law enforcement agency lied to the next agency to tell them that she did this to herself. Because they told me that we investigated it. We know she had problems with the data. It didn't make no sense. Because the neighbors outside called my name. Jimmy, I need to talk to you. So how do you get confused with an investigation and you know you killed her yourself? You know you shot this woman and you told another agency that you lied. Now listen to me real carefully. There's two law enforcement agencies, one line to the next. Who can we trust? They can't trust one another. You get me? They can't trust one another. When one agency is lying to the next, I get there and they tell me, we don't know who did it, we investigate it, and let them believe another black woman did it. And I knew it made no sense because the black woman outside called my name. She wanted to tell me what she saw. And then me and her cousin Shadea showed up and cleaned up the mess because we family.
Shadea, you want to say why you were trying to clean up the blood? I can help you.
So yes, I decided to go and clean up the crime scene because my niece and nephew wanted to get into their home to get some belongings and they didn't want to see too much blood.
Shame for God, that she was there with towels and towels of blood trying to clean it up so Summer and Malachi wouldn't have to see what the police officer did to them. And before we take the question, we're going to have Uncle Raymond Massey just address you, and finally we're going to have her son Malachi, who was the first one notified. Uncle Raymond, you want to tell them a little bit about who your niece was and how you been keeping the sister and everybody focused on justice?
So it's Raymond Massey, it's R-A-Y-M-N-D, and it's M-A-S-S-E-Y. And I just want to say that Sonya was a beautiful black queen. She just so happened to be my niece, and she should be here with us today. Sonya called me anytime that she had an accomplishment. She was so proud, and she would call me. And the only thing she talked about was her accomplishments, her kids, and God. Sonya loved her kids. She loved them. And summer in Malachi, I called them daily. And to hear them say that they're having nightmares and not being able to sleep just breaks my heart. And Donna, I love her so much. And Donna was my mentor. Donna is the reason for a lot of my successes. The Massey family and Donna, I also would like to, there's a lot of love and support all over the world, and we are just overwhelmed. So appreciative of that. Please keep your thoughts and prayers with our family.
This is Sonya's brother, Don Massey. The final person you hear from is her son, Malachi, who's military, who his mother was to him, and then when they told him, they called him that morning. So please pray for him, his sister Sonya, as they continue to try to deal with this new reality. Malachi.
I love her. She's everything to me. I love her. My whole world. I can't believe none of this. She means everything to me. I can say what I can say about her. I love her. My whole heart. Honestly. I don't know what to say. This is no way. Thank you guys for all the love and support that y'all are doing for us too. My name is Malachi, M-A-L-A-C-H-I. My last name is Grievance, H-I-L-L-M-A-S-S-E-Y.
Can you tell them what they told you when they called you? Because you were the first person to call.
They called me at 5 o'clock in the morning after I had dropped my dad off at work, and they had told me that my mom is in the shower, in her eye, and it came out the back of her neck. And they didn't know who shot her. And all I'm doing is asking, who shot her? Who shot her? All they would say is somebody shot her. That's what they kept on telling me. So, of course, the intruder came and shot her.
text message from her that night that somebody was having back door. I would have never in the world thought the police shot my mom. Like, how?
And this was 5 o'clock the next morning.
Thank you, Malachi. We're going to be with you until we get justice for the Sonya Massey.
Reverend Sharpton, you talked about the George Floyd Justice Act. Can you indeed speak to the point of pressuring the governor so Illinois can pass that law as opposed to waiting for the feds to act?
Very, very much. I think I said in my statement that the governor met with the family, but we need to go further than that and have a state law, name it the Sonya Massey law in the state of Illinois. Prohibit law enforcement from switching from district to district and to make their whatever occurs that leads to their suspension, termination, or movement, make it transparent to the public. They should do that and name it after Sonya Massey in the state of Illinois. We will keep pressuring that nationally, but they can do that now in the state of Illinois. We have a Democratic governor, Attorney General, state attorney, all the way down. There's no reason why people come and ask us for our vote that they will not make that state law right.
And I will say this, the governor met, and the lieutenant governor met with the family for about 45 minutes, an hour, and Roland, he said that he endeavored to be a partner in justice with the family. He said he was disgusted with what he saw in the video, and he committed to sign whatever legislation that Senator Doris Turner was offering to make sure that an officer could go from district to district. Reverend, he felt that they had already covered this in a sweeping police reform bill they signed in 2021. And so he was just shocked that this deputy could move around like this. So that's the one thing I was saying, Roland, that he promised his family that he was going to be standing up for justice on this matter. Before we take the next question,
Let me say this, and I don't want what Malachi said, to go off unnoticed. If you know that a law enforcement, a sheriff kills somebody, how do you call them? Not come by from the sheriff's office, not visit them. How do you call them, a strange person on the phone, saying your mother got shot? The callous insensitivity is very striking to me. If it was the other way around, they would have went to the house and sat down with the family and prepared them for that. You need a phone call from a stranger. He don't even know it was a prank call, and then lied about who did it. It's also part of what needs to be part of this investigation.
And before we take the question, just what you said, God will always be with you. And remember, Mama loves you. You know, many people say she had a premonition when you watch that video. She came to the front porch saying, God help me, God help me. She was on the couch saying, I need my Bible. I need my Bible. While they were trying to ask the questions, I need my Bible. And then when she was following his instructions, getting the power water, what was she saying? I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. Almost as if she knew that she was going to be killed by this officer. I mean, when you look at that video, it is riveting. And so, Reverend Al, what we keep saying is she needed a helping hand. She did not need a bullet to the face.
And you do that in other communities. It is not regular procedure. You only do this with us. And that's why us is showing up with the Massey family.
Reverend Al and Attorney Crump, late last night, the sheriff who hired and essentially fired the deputy who killed Sonya said something that he claims he's never said in his entire career. We failed, we didn't do our jobs. She only called for help, and he said he's sorry. Do you think the sheriff of Sangamon County should resign?
You know, we need Mr. Wilbur, her father, to be here because he stated his position quite clearly that the blood of his daughter is on the sheriff's hands. He has not backed off of that. He said if he would have hired somebody like this and they killed somebody, he would be made to resign. So why is it any different? And before Reverend Al addresses that answer, Adrian, you know, I remember as a little boy, my grandmother taught me, she said, your actions speak much louder than your words, Sheriff. Your actions speak much louder than your words, Sangamon County. So we're going to see their actions. Their words without the cameras ring hollow until we see their actions.
I would say, as stated, Mr. Wilbur and the father's call for his resignation, I would say that if we're looking right now nationally at them putting the Secret Service and the FBI on the grill about the attempt on Donald Trump's life, and it's led to one resignation. How do you become a sheriff over a deputy that was in his 6th assignment, which you had to know, and you did not even have the courtesy and the decency to go to this family's house and explain what happened when you knew? Anyone that is sensitive and anyone that allowed someone that should have never been in that department should not only resign, he should apologize to the people in that county.
Has the sheriff reached out to you? Has the sheriff reached out to you or the family?
Has the sheriff reached out to you?
They have not met. Well, not yet.
Come on, press. Let me do the press first. Oh, you in the press? State who you are, where you from.
Question.
State who you are and where you
Black
from.
Lives Matter, Lake County, also right for what's happening in Massachusetts. My question is, the law that you're trying to start, this massive law, could you also include in that mental health specialists come out when needed?
Yes, I think that.
We can protest and get, we got a black house speaker. We can put that on the book.
I think you're right. When you say that, that's the law we're proposing, including mental health. And I think he's absolutely right. We're taking 2 more, yeah.
When was the family finally told by law enforcement that he was an officer?
24 hours later, they found out in the press.
On the press?
They found out in the press. Yeah. Any other questions? I will say this, that Reverend Al Sharpton have the final word. God, we must continue to say her name, Sonya Massey. Because black women who are killed by police officers in the United States of America rarely get justice. I mean, your native daughter, Sandra Bland, got no justice. Breonna Taylor, I mean, they had a trial. Nobody was convicted. There was a hung jury. They're going to try again at the end of this year. And if there's no conviction, we doubt Breonna Taylor will ever get justice. Pamela Turner, Reverend Al Sharpton in Houston, did another terrible video where a black woman was shot 5 times by the police on her back, in her face, in her chest, in her stomach. And nobody goes to jail for killing black women. So that's why we got to keep saying justice for Sonya Massey. Justice for Sonya Massey. Justice for Sonya Massey.
All right, we will start the rally at 6 o'clock. Thank you.
Right down here, on the west side.
No rally.
Rally starts at 6 o'clock. They have the press conference. This is your boy Martin G. Johnson, aka the Crime Chaser. Live, uncut, unedited. Okay, rally starts at 6 o'clock, so I'm here. I'm going to bring it to y'all live, uncut, unedited. You're going to see what I see, you're going to know what I know. I'm here, definitely keep the family in prayer. Basically, we'll probably talk about it tonight on our podcast. So thank you guys for tuning in. This is not the end, just hold on. We'll do a rally at 6 o'clock and I'll bring that rally live, uncut, unedited. Thank you for tuning in.